Hey guys, I got myself a Final Fantasy pre-release kit. I'm really excited about this set. I was able to go to my LGS and they were able to get me a pre-release kit that I can bring home so I can do the unboxing on video, and I figured why not, let's go through a pre-release kit here on camera, and then I can sort of put it together and actually maybe build a deck and then sort of talk about some of the archetypes I like to play in pre-release and sort of put that together here. And one of the really cool things about this Final Fantasy set actually for this pre-release was that, and I really wanted to actually get this one, was to get this really cool D10 dice, which I'll just bring it in a little bit closer. It's a pretty cool dice, and you can kind of see it here. Anyways, let's get right into it. Let's crack this thing open. Answer the call of the crystals. Cool. Pretty nice. Oh, and you open this up and it looks so sweet. Look at that. It's got that old school art. It's got that pixel art. Oh, that looks so cool. And in the pre-release kit, oh, that looks really awesome. So we're gonna put this aside, but it basically has all the punch outs. It's got these little token punch outs. In this kit, inside here, there's a 1 in 20 chance to get a D20 that matches the color scheme of this dice. My lighting's not too great here, but I'll put this right here. It's gonna match that dice. So hopefully, did we actually get it? Oh my goodness, we actually got it. Oh, let me see if I can get to a place where it has better lighting. Oh, no way. Oh, we actually got it. We actually got the matching dice. That's incredible. That's insane. It's a 1 in 20 chance. I'm gonna zoom in here. Real zoom in close here. Oh, that looks so good. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm excited now. We actually got the D20. That's awesome. I'm gonna put that right here with the D10. That's my prize. Okay, let's see what we get for our promo. We also get this cool card. It's a little divider. We get how to build a deck for your pre-release. And our promo card is... No way, we got Sephiroth. We got foil stamped Sephiroth. That is insane. Oh, that looks so good. No way, first the D20, now it's Sephiroth. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Okay, let's just get right into the packs. So we'll see if we get some real cool here. We'll see if we get some really good stuff here. So we'll just start one pack at a time. Right there. We're gonna start with pack 1. Let's go for it. We got Shinra reinforcements. So afterwards, what I'll do is I'm gonna go through these packs. I'm gonna see what we get, and then afterwards we're going to separate these by color, and then we're going to see what kind of archetype we can play. What do we sort of heavily favor here? But knowing that we got Sephiroth for our promo, I feel like we kind of have to go with black here. So this is a Farseek. That's a pretty cool art for Farseek. That's actually really nice. Diamond Weapon. Okay, Phoenix Down. Realms Sketching. Ultimecia, Time Sorceress. I believe that's a flip card. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And a Stola Roll. Maybe we play Demir. Maybe we'll play Demir here. Jump right through that token. All right. On to pack 2. Let's go. What are we trying to see here? If we're going to play Demir, if we're going to play a sacrifice-based deck, maybe that's what we're going to try to aim for. Try to get as much creatures on here as we can. Maybe some sack outlets. Bard's Bow, Rook Turrets, Aerith Rescue Mission, Light of Judgment, Sephiroth Intervention, nice, on brand, on theme, Syncopate, Self-Destruct, Phoenix Down, Realm Sketching, The Wandering Minstrel, and Kefka. No way, what a pre-release kit. We got ourselves a Kefka. That's a hit. That's a hit. And the backside, Kefka, Ruler of Ruin. What a hit. Crossroads Village and Island. And our hero and Moogle. Okay. Now we're leaning more into Grixis. Let's see what the rest of our packs get. Pack number 3, let's go. Really sorry about the lighting here, guys. I don't really have a great setup here, but I'm trying to put something together. Heck dice. Whenever this creature enters, each opponent discards a card. All right. Town Greeter, Ice Magic, Dwarven Castle Guard. This guy looks hilarious. Look at him. Looks hilarious. Thunder Magic, Syncopate, Vincent Limit Break, Tonberry, Zidane, Sleep Magic, Crystal Fragments, Aerith Gainsborough. Wow, that's cool. In a Sephiroth pack too. That's all right. Ambrosia Whiteheart, Windhurst, and the hero token. The treasure. All right, 3 packs in. Here we go. Pack number 4. Let's go. Gigantode. Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum. So right now it's looking like I'm still leaning more towards Dimir. I don't know if I'm Blazing Bomb. I don't really know if I want to go Grixis in the pre-release kit. I know I took this one home, so I do want to put together a deck and then maybe hop over to my buddy's place and try to play, a couple of 1v1s and stuff. Try to get some games going with these decks. Emperor of Palamecia. That's a really cool looking card. I like that. And Lord Master of Hell. And what's that behind it? Looks really cool. Ultima Origin of Oblivion. That looks so good. That art looks so great. Oh. World Map. Oh. Baron. Airship. And this art card. Okay, 4 packs in. We are definitely hanging out in Grixis colors though. So, yeah, maybe we'll give it a try. Who knows? All right, pack number 5. Let's go. If we get enough support in Grixis, maybe we just go for it. Maybe we just go for broke. Maybe we just build it that way and then see how it goes. Undercity Dire Rat, Blitzball Shots, Combat Tutorial, Magitech Infantry, Warrior Sword, Iron Giant. That's a counterspell. Oh, Wild Rose Rebellion. That's a counterspell. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's really cool art. Sorceress's Schemes. Cactar, not a Jumbo Cactar, but a Cactar. He's trying. Garnet. Vaughn, Street Thief. Clive's Hideaway, nice. That's actually what I want. I want Clive. If I hit Clive, we go mono red for no reason. No, just joking. But I do really want Clive. And then we got a signature art card. That's cool. All right, we got one last pack. Let's see if we can support that Sephiroth archetype some more in this pack. Here we go. Last pack magic. I'm having so much trouble with this right now. Okay, there you go. Okay. Last pack. Good. Gasol Greens. Okay. I don't know why that was so hard to pronounce. Magic Damper. Galacat. Summon Ifrit. Aramon. Adventurer's Inn. Vincent's Limit Break. Got another one, nice. I always like to see repeats in a pre-release kit. Reno and Rude. Fire Magic, cool. X-Death, Void Warlock. That was really good, actually. Oh, there's a backside to it. Neo X-Death. And Louisoix Sacrifice. Fang Fearless Sea. It's part of a melt card. And a Wastes. A full art Wastes. And the hero token that flips into a robot warrior. Well, it doesn't flip into it, just has two sides. Okay. Anyways, okay, so we got our stack of cards. We're gonna organize them shortly, but I do think we should try to build something towards the Sephiroth. I mean, can't just pull it and not play it. I feel like you pull it, you're kind of obligated to play it. But we also got Kafka, so maybe we can try to build towards that. But we'll see. We'll come back. We'll organize everything, and then from there, we'll figure it out. Hey guys, we're back. So I put together the deck that we pulled from the pre-release kit. I'm gonna do it here through Moxfield because I think it'll be a little better visually to show you what is actually going into the deck. So this is a deck that's going to be focused mainly on trying to get Sephiroth out, just because we pulled him and we got Sephiroth out, and we're gonna try to build a package around him to get creatures on the board, maybe pressure the life total a little bit, but also have some built-in sacrifice outlets. I know there's not a whole lot here in terms of sacrifice outlet, like there's not a lot available for my pulls, but I found a couple ways to try to maybe crank that up a little bit. So we're playing in Grixis colors. We're playing in black, red, and blue. I've splashed a little bit of blue in there just because I didn't think I had enough support on black and red. The blue is really there for some protection for Sephiroth, because once we build a board state and once we get Sephiroth out, it's pretty important to try to protect him if we even want this game plan to work. It's sort of like it's one of those game plans where it's like you don't know if it's really going to work, but we're gonna make it. We're gonna try to make this happen. So in the creature side, we're a little bit low on creature count, but there are other ways to try to bring some of those back, and I'll get into those in a little bit. But first, we're gonna get into our creatures, which is Ahriman, and this guy really is just in there for some flying and death touch, and you can pay mana here to sack another creature to draw a card, which will be pretty useful later on. He's really out there to sack some of our other creatures that come in first. So for example, we got creatures like Tomberry that's going to come in. He comes in with a stun counter, but he's a turn 1 drop, and later on you can sack him to try to get value. Same thing with Undercity Dire Rat and creatures like Hecdies. These are like sort of low drop creatures that'll come in and get the job done, what they're supposed to do, and then you can have cards like Ahriman come in, or you can have cards like Reno and Rude, which we have 2 copies of. And these guys are going to come in and allow you to start sacrificing some of your creatures into that Sephiroth game plan. So you want to start your board with some of these smaller creatures and then eventually get to Sephiroth and then get to guys that can sack those creatures. So we have Ahriman, Blazing Bomb, we got Hecdies, like I was saying earlier, 2 copies of Reno and Rude, Sephiroth of course, Shinra Reinforcements. Now this one mills. I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna keep this in here or if I just replace it with something else, some sort of value piece, but this thing mills, and you'll see later we do have a piece that we do have a card that can bring something back. If we happen to mill Sephiroth, then we have ways to bring it back. It's not very consistent, so I may drop this, but who knows. Then we have our Tomberry and Undercity Dire Rat, which when it dies, it actually creates you a treasure token, which you can then proceed to keep pushing your other game plan. So that's always good. So in our spell, so in our instance, we have Fight On, which is the one that brings back creatures into your hand. I feel like this is pretty good if you start losing some of your engine. For example, if Sephiroth comes in and you happen to not be able to protect it, you can always bring it back. You can always try it again. We have a couple of sort of removal spells in sort of like scalable removal spells in Fire Magic and Thunder Magic. These are sort of there, very similar, but these are sort of there to help clear the board, to keep things safe. Because the way this deck is going to work is Sephiroth won't come in turn 3. He might actually come in a little bit later on, because you want to try to get the 4 triggers on the same turn. So in order to do that, you're going to want to have him out, you want to protect him, and you want to have a turn where you sort of just have everything go off. So that's kind of what this deck is building towards. And then you have Haste Magic. I just really like Haste Magic. I think it's pretty cool. It lets you impulse draw for a card, and you also give a creature +3/+1, and it gains haste. It can come in, maybe try to finish off a game, or it can come in early, get some early damages in, because even though we want to get the Sephiroth thing going, we want to get the sort of Blood Artist emblem going, it's not necessarily going to be the easiest win con, so we do want other ways to try to get in damage. Light of Judgment, it's not the best, but it's there as a removal, 6 damage to up to a target creature. There is going to be a lot of equipment based decks out there, I think, in other pre-release kits. Maybe a lot of people run some equipment based stuff, so I do think this is pretty important. Unfortunately, we only got 1 copy, so it is what it is. So now we have, so 2 copies of Self-Destruct. This one is target creature you control deal X damage to any other target and X damage to itself, where X is its power. We can use something like this to start sacking some of these creatures, where if we don't have certain pieces, we can then use something like Self-Destruct to get them off the board, to help trigger Sephiroth, or to just get in some burn damage. This is pretty useful in that sense. For example, if you feel like your plan is just not going to work, sack Sephiroth if you need to, get in 3 damage to the opponent. Anything to just sort of get some damage in, I feel like it's pretty important. Then we have Sephiroth Intervention. It's not the best removal, but it is there for flavor. Then we have 2 copies of Vincent's Limit Break. Now this one, we wanted to put in there, we wanted to have this thing in our deck, we wanted to have it in our hand because it allows you to bring back a creature when it dies. So when you go through your sacrifice outlets, when you go through ways to get rid of your board, to start sacking 2 Sephiroth, you sort of want ways to get more repeated action on it. So you drop Vincent's Limit Break, you let a creature die, you let it come back. Maybe if you have some open mana, you can make it a little bit bigger. And then, maybe you punch in for face, maybe you do the sack thing again. Who knows? There's ways to play around the sack outlet, and just try to make it so that there's a bit more redundancy in terms of getting creatures on the battlefield. So you'll notice that we did splash blue, like I mentioned, because I did pull 2 copies of Syncopate, and we pulled a copy of Magic Damper. The Syncopate is there to counter if someone is going to go after your Sephiroth. We don't really care if it goes after other cards. We just want to protect Sephiroth because he's the money card. We want to make sure he stays on the battlefield. It'll be nice to look at. So we want to make sure we get our Syncopates in there. And this is the wrong art for Syncopate. It's going to start bothering me. So we're going to switch that printing. Boom, right to Final Fantasy. So that's the one we pulled, 2 copies of Syncopate. And really it's there to protect Sephiroth. So we don't have a whole lot of blue cards. We have 3 blue cards in there. We have 2 cards for Syncopate, and we have 1 copy of Magic Damper. Magic Damper is there also to give a +1/+1, and it gives Hexproof until the end of the turn. Untap it, whatever, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that it's going to protect our pieces, mainly Sephiroth. Because we only got 3 copies, we're not going to be running a whole lot of islands, which is okay, because I think at the point that we're going to be dropping Sephiroth, which is sometime in the mid game, I do feel like we're probably going to have an island in our hand. And if we don't, that's where this artifact comes in. We can try to search for the island. So here we have our land base. We're running 8 swamps, 5 mountains, 4 islands. And I do think, I did a couple of gold fishing with this thing. I do think the land base could be slightly adjusted, but I do think this count is okay. Depending on how often you might be able to hit that world map, I'm not sure. It's just 1 copy of 40 cards. But at the point that you drop Sephiroth and you have protection in your hand, I do think you will end up with at least 1 island in your hand, which I think is enough. Because you just really need to protect them once and let it pop off. You want to get that Blood Artist emblem because that emblem's not going away. You want to get that emblem and then you want to start continuously either pushing, just aggroing through, or start stacking to that Blood Artist emblem. So that is essentially the deck. I'm not exactly sure. I want to be able to test it. I want to test it against other decks. I do have a couple friends of mine that have put together some pre-release decks, so we're going to be testing it out. I'm not 100% sure if this is going to work. There are some white cards that I pulled from the pre-release that could have created a bit more creatures, but I did want to go this color route. And we also pulled a Kefka, so there was a possibility that if I did drop Shinra Reinforcement, that I was going to bring Kefka back in. Although he doesn't really do much for this deck, it'd just be kind of cool to put him in here just to see what he does. You know, you're always going to want to play with fancy cool arts and fancy cool cards. So there's that. So let me know what you think of this deck. Let me know what you think of the video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.